Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Dr. Paul with another mail call. This one is 2 books. Golden Age DC All-Star Comics. I found another couple, y'all. Working on that Golden Age All-Star Comics run. The first 57 issues published from 1940 through 1951. I am happy to have you here with me today. Excited to have you along for this ride. Appreciate having you here. Appreciate everybody being here, but I especially appreciate the folks that are taking the time to like, subscribe, and comment. Especially comment, frankly, because I really enjoy the interaction, the camaraderie, and sharing my experience and my passion with all of you. Speaking of, I've been at this comic book collecting game for over 40 years now, so I've seen quite a bit, been around enough to see a few of these boom-bust cycles, and want to share with you some of the pitfalls that I've been through in my collecting and comic book investing experience, and that's what the channel's all about. So welcome aboard, again, everyone. So this is 2 books, slabs, obviously, that I purchased from Comic Connect. And as is generally the case with books from them, you can imagine, they're professionals, they know what they're doing. I normally like to have a little bit more drama with my reveals, but let's see if we can just slide like this. See what happens. There we go, that one worked. I'll actually put this one here. Yeah, there we go. Started off a little rough, but that last part was easy. How's that look? Looking great from my perspective. Hope this is coming through. What a couple of beauties. Well, what is it and why do we care? This book here on the left is All-Star Comics number 31 in CGC 8.5 with cream to off-white pages. It's the October-November 1946 issue written by Gardner Fox with a Martin Naydel cover. And this book here on the right is All-Star Comics number 38 in CGC 7.0 with off-white to white pages. It's the December-January issue of 1947-1948, scripted by Robert Kanigher with cover art by Alex Toth. For those not familiar, All-Star Comics, my favorite Golden Age title, is the comic that gave us the first ever superhero team. The Justice Society of America debuted in issue number 3 in November 1940. All-Star Comics was the most successful and longest-running superhero team comic book of the Golden Age, featuring the JSA for 11 years, from issue number 3 in 1940 until issue number 57 in March of 1951. The run has several big key issues in addition to the first appearance of the JSA, including the first female superheroine, Hawkgirl, in issue 5, the first time Batman and Superman meet in issue 7, and the first appearance of Wonder Woman in issue number 8. It also includes the first appearances of villains Brainwave, the Psycho Pirate, the Wizard, Degaton, and the Injustice Society. It's my favorite Golden Age title, and one of my life goals is to complete the Golden Age run in mid to high grade, and guess what, y'all? We just got 2 issues closer. In issue number 31, there were 7 JSA team members: Hawkman, Green Lantern, the Atom, the Flash, Dr. Midnight, Johnny Thunder, and the Secretary, Wonder Woman. Being from the early post-war period of the Golden Age, this story is decidedly atomic age sci-fi and featured a queer light that possesses an old toy maker named Willy Wonder. It turns out the queer light is an alien being, a member of the Dona, who is mentally unstable. His keepers show up and clue the JSA into what's going on. Antics ensue, and eventually the Dona help the JSA free Willy of the possession, and he returns to his life of toy making. In addition to the cover, Martin Naydel did the art for the introductory chapter. Chester Kozlak penciled the Hawkman's chapter. Dr. Midnight's chapter was drawn by Stan Ash. Paul Ryman did drafting duty for Green Lantern's chapter. Erwin Hassan was responsible for the art on the Adams chapter. Stan Ash also handled the art for Johnny Thunder's chapter. And Martin Naydel was responsible for the last two chapters, those of the Flash and the conclusion. In issue number 38, there were the same 7 members of the JSA as issue number 31, and they are joined by guest star Black Canary, whose first appearance is over in Flash Comics. It's worth noting that Wonder Woman is no longer referred to as the Secretary and plays a major role in the story of this issue. The backstory goes that although Wonder Woman debuted in All-Star Comics number 8, before being featured in Sensation Comics in January of 1942, and soon after in her own title, Wonder Woman, in July of 1942, she played a non-active role in the JSA because her creator, William Moulton Marston, was not happy with having other writers portray her, and he was busy writing her stories in Sensation Comics, Wonder Woman, and Comics Cavalcade, and didn't have time to write her in All-Star. National Comics, as DC was called at the time, wanted to cash in on her popularity by having her on the JSA, so to solve the problem, she played the role of secretary only and didn't go on any of the adventures with the team and didn't really have any meaningful dialogue. Upon Marston's death in May of 1947, National Comics obviously needed new writers for Wonder Woman in all of her books, including All-Star Comics, and the new writers were now free to use her in the action stories of the JSA, so she became an active member starting with this issue. In this story, Wonder Woman and her supporting cast were used to very good effect. The male members of the JSA each fell victim seemingly to historic villains, and each is murdered. Johnny Thunder, with his dying breath, tells Black Canary the whereabouts of the secret headquarters of the JSA, so that she can relay to Wonder Woman what has happened. Black Canary then goes to JSA headquarters to tell Wonder Woman of Johnny's fate, and Wonder Woman rounds up all of the remains of her dead teammates and takes them to Paradise Island and Paula's secret laboratory in her invisible plane. Once there, Paula uses the purple ray to revive them all. Upon returning to Man's World, they discover that a madman running the local wax museum murdered them all while in disguise, and he's able to overcome the entire team again, having no superpowers, until Black Canary outwits him by herself, impersonating Lucretia Borgia and foiling his plans. Black Canary is welcomed by Wonder Woman, who states that someday they'd like to have her as a regular member, and Black Canary begins full JSA membership with the following issue. There are 67 universal copies of All-Star Comics number 31 in the CGC census, with a median grade of 5.5. This copy, at 8.5, sits at the 7th percentile, and there are only 3 graded higher in the census. The last time a CGC 8.5 changed hands was a fixed price purchase on eBay in 2015 for $1,500 plus shipping and taxes. Similarly, there are only 58 universal copies of All-Star Comics number 38 in the CGC census, with a median grade of 6.0. This 7.0 copy is at the 36th percentile. A 7.5 changed hands about a year ago on eBay in a fixed price transaction of $1,350 plus shipping and taxes. It's difficult to place a fair market value on these comics because they both are quite rare and trade hands rather infrequently. For these non-key issues with census populations under 75, I've been looking to acquire books around 7.0 for about $1,200 to $1,400, and 8.0 around $1,500 to $1,800, and 9.0s somewhere in the $1,800 to $2,000 range. I consider anything under these numbers a very good price. I paid $1,652 plus shipping for All-Star number 31 and $1,250 for All-Star Comics number 38 on Comic Connect. Shipping was only $28 for both books, and they charge no tax, so I acquired both of these books well within my range. Long-term followers of my channel know that I consider myself a humble caretaker of these treasures, with a duty to preserve them for future generations. Being able to own these comics is an embarrassment of riches, and I know just how fortunate I am to be able to acquire them. These books are obviously for my personal collection. I'm not looking to sell them anytime soon, but I still want to be very well bought on my collection because getting a good deal on a rare Golden Age book is a big part of the fun for me. As I've discussed before, you typically need to pay market prices to acquire books like this. If you're trying to bargain hunt these books, you may only find one every few years. With my personal collecting goal of completing All-Star Comics, any day I can add 2 high-grade issues of All-Star Comics to my personal collection for well under $3,000 is a very good day in my book. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video on this twofer Golden Age All-Star Comics featuring the JSA. Stay tuned for another All-Star Comics unboxing video in the near future. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Do you have specific collecting goals? How are they coming along in 2023? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, happy hunting and take care of one another.